Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe it if I told you.
Lights out, and away we go. Prepare yourself for a nail-biting journey as we delve into 15 adventurers who face the great outdoors, the unknown, and their own absurdity in epic movies. From scaling the mountains to diving into the stratosphere, their quests are like something out of a bizarre dream. And stay tuned till the end, where we'll unveil the common traits that link these fearless and slightly eccentric souls together. It's adventure time. I'm
Gail. And I'm
Ren.
And this is what it takes to be.
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Kon Tiki
Mr. Hardo, doubtless the story of Norwegians drowning in the Pacific will sell.
takes us on a hilariously wet and wild ride as Thor Heyerdahl and his merry crew set out on a rafting adventure across the high seas.
Ropes held 1,500 years ago, and they will hold now.
Feel the raft.
It looks worse than it is.
It's a quest so daring, even Poseidon's jealous. As they float along, you'll discover that Heyerdahl's thirst for adventure was so insatiable, he even had Neptune asking for travel tips. Get ready for a seaworthy comedy that'll have you hooked, line and sinker.
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe it if I told you.
Shackleton chronicles the comically extreme adventures of Sir Ernest Shackleton in a way that'll make even James Bond envious. Confronting frostbite, icy glares from penguins, and a diet of freeze-dried humor, Shackleton's adventures in the frozen wilderness reveal that survival, much like comedy, hinges on impeccable timing. Journeying with this polar pioneer, you'll discover that in the South Pole, the only thing chillier than the weather is his sense of humor.
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Queen of the Desert hilariously portrays the incredible adventures of Gertrude Bell,
You will not scare the young man with your intelligence.
who navigated the deserts of the Middle East while dodging camels, cranky Bedouins, and the occasional sandstorm. With more curiosity than a cat and more wanderlust than a tourist who can't find their hotel, Bell showed that conquering deserts isn't just about maps and compasses. It's also about staying hydrated and laughing at your own sand mustache.
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Everest documents the epic adventure of Rob Hall and Scott Fisher,
You go. I'm done. No, I'm not leaving you behind. Come on.
who, in a quest to conquer the world's highest peak, found themselves battling frostbite, oxygen
There's no oxygen.
deprivation, and Mother Nature's wrath.
We're all getting down together. Let's go.
While their exploits redefine the term peak performance as they grapple with avalanches, sub-zero temperatures, and the idea that maybe, just maybe, a cozy cabin in the suburbs is a more sensible option than Everest's frozen apex.
Where'd you go?
I mean, even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it.
Amelia chronicles the adventurous spirit of Amelia Earhart, who decided that ordinary vacations just weren't thrilling enough. With her spiffy flying goggles and a can-do attitude, she set off on adventures that usually began with, "Why don't I fly a little farther today?"
Miss Amelia Earhart. Why do you want to fly?
I want to be free.
Witness her quest
A passion for the fun of it.
to prove that the sky is the limit, even if the plane needs a GPS as big as Texas.
Where'd you go? You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Space dive.
Tell us again.
Space Dive, the story of Felix Baumgartner, an adventurer who must have thought jumping out of airplanes was just too boring. So he decided, hey, why not jump from the edge of space? This film captures his daring journey as he plummets through Earth's atmosphere, probably wondering if he left the oven on. It's an adventure so wild it puts skydiving to shame.
Where did you go?
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
In Touch, the Top of the World,
The clouds that look like big, white, puffy blankets of snow.
Eric Weihenmayer takes living life to the fullest to new heights. This guy climbed Mount Everest blind and likely wondered if he packed enough sunscreen. The film showcases his quest to conquer the highest peak on the planet, proving that the only thing more adventurous than reaching the summit of Everest is doing it when you can't even see your hand in front of your face.
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
In 7 years in Tibet, Heinrich Harrer embarks on an epic journey to the mysterious city of Lhasa. On the way, he faces challenges more daunting than deciphering a menu in a foreign language. This film captures his adventurous spirit,
The deep, powerful presence of life. You have focused.
as he navigates both the treacherous Himalayas and the equally perilous world of Tibetan etiquette.
Yellowhead.
Reminding us that venturing into the unknown often means risking a very awkward cultural faux pas.
Where'd you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Ed Stafford takes adventure to a whole new level.
Naked and marooned.
Say it again.
Naked and Marooned.
I will say it again.
With Ed Stafford, stranded on a deserted island with nothing but his birthday suit. He proves that conquering the wilderness can be a breeze, albeit a windy one. This show demonstrates that sometimes all you need to survive is a little creativity and a lot of SPF.
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Laura Decker in The Maiden Trip laughs at the face of the term grounded. She's not your typical teenager. She'd rather sail around the world solo. This documentary captures her audacious spirit, showcasing how she found the ultimate getaway, even if it meant trading school for open seas. Ahoy, matey! Who needs algebra when you can navigate the globe?
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
In Don't Look Down, Sir Richard Branson's motto isn't sky's the limit. It's let's break through it. Watch in awe as this intrepid entrepreneur turns air miles into air adventures. If you ever wanted to see a billionaire play hooky in a hot air balloon, this is your chance. Just remember, Sir Richard's adventures are like his pocket change, never ending.
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
If you want something in life, reach out and grab it.
Into the Wild is Christopher McCandless' way of proving that millennials did the whole gap year thing way before it was trendy. Follow him as he takes backpacking to a whole new level, trading his worldly possessions for some questionable survival skills and a bus in the middle of nowhere. Because when life gives you lemons, why not hike into the Alaskan wilderness with no map, right?
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
In 127 hours, Aaron Ralston decides to spice up his hiking trip by playing a game of how to escape from a boulder. It's a real nail-biter as he pits his arm against a massive rock and discovers that amputation is the ultimate survival tip. Forget the Swiss Army knife. All you need is a sharp rock and some grit. And a friend with a search party. The moral? Don't go hiking without telling someone where you're headed.
Where'd you go?
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
In Into Thin Air, Death on Everest, John Krakauer embarks on the world's highest and deadliest game of hide and seek. It's like a Himalayan episode of Survivor where the air is thin and the drama is high. Will he find his way down from the rooftop of the world or end up on nature's naughty list? Tune in to see if altitude sickness takes the top prize in this chilling adventure.
Where did you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
In K2, Siren of the Himalayas, Fabrizio Zangrilli and Gerlinde Kaltenbrunner prove that climbing K2, the world's second highest mountain, is like trying to beat an epic video game on the highest difficulty setting. With frozen fingers, stubborn snowstorms, and altitude challenges that even superheroes would balk at. They're the adventurers who won't take no oxygen for an answer. Tune in for this perilous quest where Mother Nature's the final boss.
I thought I was.
Honey, you are the boss.
In the grand finale, we've journeyed with 15 plus adventurers whose stories are unpredictable than a squirrel in a coffee shop. These fearless folks, armed with humor and often a dash of craziness, taught us that life's greatest escapades sometimes require a wink and a grin. Now, about those common traits.
Yeah, tell us.
Boundless curiosity, a knack for pushing the limits, and an allergy to mundane. So remember, fellow adventurers, life is one epic Class 5 rafting trip. Enjoy the ride.
All right.
I think we did very good.
So, but
I think, especially.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think so.